Hey everyone, in today's video, how to record the perfect audio at a wedding ceremony. So I'm not going to go into specific equipment. I'm more talking on the generally how to just record that perfect audio. So first of all, if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'm now producing sort of 2 videos a week and mainly wedding related. Which sometimes give gear reviews, but it's mainly more about me developing my company and sort of documenting my progress and giving everyone, you guys tips. And especially if you're new to weddings, this is a great channel to subscribe to. So, the concept on recording audio and to get the best quality is you need the microphone as close as you can to the subject. So let's talk about my YouTube channel here. I have a Rode mic just here, just out of shot, very close to my mouth. It's a directional mic. It's pointing straight to my mouth. So it doesn't matter how close my camera is. My camera could be all the way on the other side of the room, as long as I have that audio capturing device, in this case the Rode mic, as close as it can to me. So the same concept applies when you're trying to capture the audio for weddings. So I've mentioned this before. I've got another video on audio gear, all the gear I use. And I've got a video on the perfect settings that I use on the Zoom F1. But basically, I use one of these lapel mics using a sticky. Stick it on the inside of the groom's jacket. And then just put that in his pocket as well. And this concept is as close as it can to the subject, and because it's there, this picks up the registrar or the vicar or the priest, whoever's talking, or the celebrant in front of them, and obviously when they're sort of side on, picks up the bride nicely as well. And I've said it before, you need backups. You're backing up your audio. So I do have other recorders nearby, and like I said, the whole concept of to capture that perfect audio is to get that microphone as close as you can to the subject. So I highly recommend some sort of lapel mic. So I'm not necessarily saying go buy this Zoom F1. Depending on your budget, which brand you like. I quite like Zoom. That's why I went down this route. I highly recommend these stickies. So literally, you stick it on the microphone there, and it's on the inside of the jacket. It doesn't show up in the pictures or the video. And that microphone is as close as you can, is so close to the subject, it picks up everyone perfectly. Now, there are various routes you can go down. So this is all built into one lapel mic, runs off batteries. As soon as I hit record, I cannot monitor what's going on, so that may be a negative. But for me, luckily, I found the perfect settings that I use every time and needs hardly any adjustment in post, sometimes none at all. You can get like this. I'll list all this in the description below, but you can use, like a lot of people use the Sony TX650s, but the same concept applies. You can clip that onto the groom's jacket, sometimes even in the pocket, so you can hardly see it. If you are looking to sort of monitor the audio as well, or if you're sort of a part of a bigger team, I'm usually a solo shooter. Sometimes I have a second shooter with me, but mainly a solo shooter. So that's why I trust the settings of this. I swap out the batteries probably every 2 to 3 weddings. If it goes down to 2, if it's definitely on 1 bar when I turn it on, I change the batteries. If it's on 2, sometimes I keep them. Otherwise, I just put a fresh pair of batteries in. I hit record, put it onto the hold button, make sure I've got all my levels working once I've plugged it on the groom, and then just slip it into his pocket. But like I said, you can get, if you are monitoring the audio, you can get wireless lapel mics. So again, just like I said, same concept applies, and that is get this microphone as close as you can to the subject. So that is my tip on how to record your ceremony. But as all weddings are different, just put that down for a second, there may be readers, or you might be in a church and the vicar might stay to one side, like happened to me the other day. So that's where you need your handheld audio devices. So if there are readings going on, place one of these, or you know, you can get smaller ones. Sort of place. I'm looking to upgrade these ones soon to the classic Zoom. So I've got the Zoom H5, but I'm going to get the Zoom H1 as a couple of spares. But you can hide them behind tables, especially if someone's doing a reading and they're standing in front of a table or a lectern. Usually there's a bit of an angle on it, so you can hide it quite nicely. And I always hide one of these on the table in front of them as well, just in case the lapel mic does fail. You know, you never know, the groom might accidentally knock it off hold and hit stop. Batteries might run out, you know, that sort of thing. Oh, just thinking of that, just talk about that. And that screws in, this microphone screws into that, so there's no chance of, as long as you've got it tight straight away, there's no chance of that pulling out. But like I said, if it does, you've got your backups. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to get that audio device, that microphone, as close as you can to whoever's talking. So that's why you want to get to the ceremony in plenty of time. I know in an ideal world, you want to get there in plenty of time, but it doesn't always happen. But a few things you want to sort of ask the registrar when you get there, or the vicar is, or even the bride and groom in your meeting, if you meet with them before. You know, are you having readings? Where are they going to stand? If they're not sure, you know, give your opinion, give your advice, and say, oh, you could, if you stand there, not only the bride and groom get to look at you, but there's a nice little table there. You can put the audio device on that table. So yeah, to record perfect audio at a ceremony is get that microphone as close as you can to the subject. So if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe button. I hope you've learned something off my little tip. You know, it is obvious, but if you're just starting out in wedding videography, cinematography, sometimes you need to know about these little tips. And this same rule applies in whatever video production you're in. You know, if you're making a promo video, you're sort of doing an interview, you might have a Rode mic like I've got it here, very close. So yeah. So like I said, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you've watched this video, you may be interested in the video that I'm going to release next week, which is how to film the ceremony on one camera. Because I know a lot of you are solo shooters. You know, the equipment is expensive. You might only have the one camera. So I want to give you my tips. Because I usually have my C200, Canon C200 here. I do have a backup camera at the end. Sometimes I don't use it at all. And I'll just talk about the tips I'm going to use in next week's video, and just literally stick to the one camera. And that is, and I'm talking about moving from side to side, you know, capturing the vowels and everything like that from both sides using one camera. So if you want to be notified on that, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.